Good afternoon. As president of the Faculty Association, I am honored to open this Fox Valley Technical College Commencement Ceremony. It's a pleasure to welcome all of you here today to share in the proud moment as we recognize the accomplishments of our graduates. Will everyone please join along in honoring our country as the national anthem is sung by the quartet MLC.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated. It is now my honor to introduce to you the president of Fox Valley Technical College, Dr. Susan May.
Thank you, Jim. It's a privilege to welcome all of you to this commencement ceremony. The faculty and staff of Fox Valley Technical College join me in extending congratulations to our graduates and a warm welcome to our guests. I'd also like to wish all the mothers in attendance today a happy Mother's Day. Today's commencement ceremony marks an important moment for our graduates. We are honored that you and your distinguished classmates chose Fox Valley Technical College to help prepare you for lifelong opportunities. It is the Board of Trustees at Fox Valley Technical College that sets our direction. Trustees devote hundreds of hours each year to guide the strategic course of the college. They are appointed to serve because each member possesses unique talents and perspectives, as well as a commitment to the mission of our college. I would invite each trustee joining us today to please stand and be recognized. And if you would please hold your applause until all trustees have been introduced. Our board chair, Dr. Dominic Madison, is the school district administrator for the Brilliant School District. Anthony Gonzalez, our vice chair, serves as the vice president of community development for United Way Fox Cities. Serving as our board secretary is Stephen Kohler, chief human resources officer for Community First Credit Union. Bruce Albrecht is Vice President of Global Innovation and Technology for Illinois Toolworks Miller Electric Manufacturing Company. Justin Krieger is co-owner and CEO of Your Neighborhood Living, which serves to support the special needs community. Patty Van Ryzen serves as Vice President of Human Resources at Bassett Mechanical. And John Weinberg is the Executive Director and President of Greater Fox Cities Area Habitat for Humanity. Let me extend to our board sincere appreciation for your outstanding contributions and service to Fox Valley Technical College. Now I am very pleased to welcome Board Chair Dr. Dominic Madison to offer greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Next.
Thank you, Dr. May. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would extend a warm welcome to all of our graduates today, along with all the families that are here and the friends of our graduates. Graduates, we are all delighted to share in this very special recognition of your achievements, and we wish you all the best in the years to come. As we look at you today, we see a true depiction of our diverse student community. The students who came to Fox Valley Technical College immediately after high school, those who have returned from serving in the military, or those who have decided they want something better, something more challenging, or perhaps just a new beginning. Congratulations to each of you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Chris Matheny, Vice President and Chief Academic Officer for Fox Valley Technical College. Chris?
Thank you, Dr. Madison. Today we celebrate the fulfillment of the college experience, of people who believe in one another, in learning, in personal growth, and in achievement. It's my pleasure today to introduce the academic deans of Fox Valley Technical Colleges who escorted the graduates. I'd ask that you please hold your applause until each of the deans has been introduced. Scott Borley, Dean of Business. Carol May, Dean of General Studies. Joe Suyak, Dean of Health and Dean of Public Safety. Doug Waterman, Dean of Information Technology. Andy Renke, Associate Dean of Manufacturing and Agricultural Technologies. Kim Olson, Dean of Service. And Deborah Heath, Dean of Transportation and Construction Technologies. Thank you, academic deans, for your leadership to the service of the Fox Valley Technical College. And I'd like to take just a moment and ask Dean Carol May to please stand. Carol, we'd like to recognize the impact that you've had at the college. Carol is retiring after being at the college for more than 30 years. Her expertise has run the gamut from teaching to working in leadership roles as both an associate dean and dean. Carol oversaw several initiatives for the college in her leadership of our general studies area. All of us at the college will miss your dedication to our students, passion for student learning. Congratulations, Carol, on starting a new chapter in your life. Thank you so much for your service. The caliber of instruction at Fox Valley Technical College is designed to connect our students to careers full of promise and challenge. The students who are here today have learned from the very best, and we wish to acknowledge the members of our faculty and staff who, through their skill, experience, and mentorship, have directed the work and inspired the minds of our graduates. At this time, I'd ask the faculty and staff, as well as members of the administration, to please stand as we applaud your dedication, expertise, commitment to faculty. Thank you again for your dedication. I'd also like to introduce Laura Lindstrom and Mindy Olson, who are providing signing services for the ceremony today. Thank you, ladies. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce my colleague, Dr. Patty Jorgensen, Vice President for Student and Community Development, who will introduce our student speaker. Patty.
Thank you, Chris. Today's student speaker is Ms. Hazel Reck, who will receive her Associate of Applied Science degree in marketing. Hazel entered the doors to Fox Valley Technical College right after high school, focused on earning good grades, keeping her nose to the grindstone, and getting out. Well, that plan didn't last long. The Hazel we know today is nothing short of a go-getter. Hazel's creativity and people skills were immediately put to use at the college. She became involved in DECA, an international student organization that prepares emerging leaders and entrepreneurs for business careers. As a member of DECA, Hazel served as both secretary and president, and just recently, she earned second place in the professional sales category at the National DECA Championship in Washington, D.C. What an impressive accomplishment. During her time at Fox Valley Tech, Hazel also mentored other students as a peer advisor. These experiences outside the classroom helped her meet new friends and develop new talents, in addition to landing an internship with Silver Star Brands. I'm delighted to present to all of you our student speaker, Ms. Hazel Reck.
Hello? Oh, we're going good. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Jorgensen. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today to celebrate the class of 2018 from Fox Valley Technical College. I would like to take a moment to recognize my mother, two grandmothers, and all the other mothers in the audience and wish them a happy Mother's Day. Today is a huge day for me and my fellow graduates. Some people like me were lucky and were able to get in and out within 1 or 2 years. Other people, I know we're here for a lot longer. Regardless, we are all here today. Some of us has been involved with one or more extracurriculars, and others are going to be graduating today with one or more degrees. This graduating class has done so many extraordinary things, and it is an honor to get to speak for them today. I came right from high school when I started here. Like Patty said, my mind was set on good grades, going to class, and then working. Well, a couple of weeks into my first semester, that all changed, and I knew that wasn't going to work. There are 3 points that I'm going to touch on for you all today. These points are things that I did not expect, but they ended up changing my path in life. These points are getting involved, making friends, and never giving up. First, getting involved. Like I said earlier, I did not want to get involved. I wanted to focus on my grades. Well, one of my very first professors, Terry Stark, told me I should join DECA. This is a business and marketing club like Patty described, and it seemed like a really big commitment. And I said, no way. But that no way quickly turned into a yeah, okay, with Terry's persistence. Within a month, I ended up being the club secretary, and then was introduced to Jeff Meverden, the DECA advisor. He convinced me that I should compete and travel, and also with his persistence, I ended up doing that. So then after community service, traveling, and competing, I decided to run for president for this year, which I was honored to get. We traveled to DC this past year as a club, and all of us represented the school very well, bringing home 4 top 3 national awards, along with other smaller awards. Terry Stark then also convinced me I should be a peer advisor, which is like a mentoring position here at the school. Because of when I got this position, I learned that there's a lot more than to this school and what it had to offer its students. I learned more about the different programs, and I was able to meet a lot of different people. I have grown tremendously because of being a peer advisor and DECA. Another thing the school has given me is the drive to make new friends. I've never had a best friend before, and my first year here, I made a lot of friends. But this year, I made 4 new friends: Alexis, Tatum, Sophie, and Mindy. These 4 girls have pushed me to do my very best. We would intentionally stay at school till 9 just so we could get half-price pie and appetizers for Perkins. I've also heard other stories of students in the audience who would get movie nights or go out to eat after big projects and other kind of things like that. And they all seemed to really enjoy it. It was a good way to relax after dealing with all the homework. The classes here have really helped me and my peers make lifelong friends, and I cannot be more thankful for them. Lastly, never give up. Not only through DECA and peer advising, but internships. And then in most programs, you need an internship to graduate. Some people graduating today got lucky and got an internship through their place of work, which is a really good opportunity. But others had to go out and find one on their own. This was one of the hardest tasks I've ever had to do, and I know many other students here would say the same. After an exhausting 5-month search and on the verge of insanity, I received a phone call from Silver Star Brands. I didn't have them in mind because I applied very long ago and they wanted a lot, and I just figured, oh well. Well, after a phone interview, then a regular interview, I got the internship. The amazing staff here at the college and my peers kept pushing me, and it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life. Graduates, moving forward, how can you get involved, make new friends, while growing personally and professionally? This school has changed me and my peers in more ways than one. Some days, same. while others perfect. Thank you, Fox Valley Technical College, for getting me and my peers involved, for bringing us great friendship, and for making us never give up. I can honestly say that my experience here is irreplaceable, and if I had to go back to the start, I would not change a thing. Congratulations, fellow graduates, and thank you.
Thank you, Hazel, and congratulations on all of your accomplishments. Now I'm pleased to introduce our commencement speaker, Mr. Mark Tyler, founder and president of OEM Fabricators, the current board president of the Wisconsin Technical College System. OEM is a two-time recipient of Wisconsin's Manufacturer of the Year Award. The company is known for playing a significant role in workforce development initiatives. Under Mark's leadership, many advancements have been made in connecting education to the skills and needs of employers. Mark has given his time and talents to several boards and councils over the years, including the Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce, the Wisconsin Technical Council, Technology Council, and as chair of the Governor's Council on Workforce Investment, just to name a few. Mark holds a technical diploma from St. Paul TVI in Minnesota, and in 2011, he earned his MBA from the University of St. Thomas. Both he and his wife, Jackie, operate Emerald Glen Farm, which breeds both Shetland ponies and sheep, in addition to producing grain and forage crops. Tell Mark is a very busy man. Please join me in welcoming today's commencement speaker, Mr. Mark Tyler.
Well, 40 years ago, I was sitting where you're sitting, graduating with a degree in mechanical design. My family's really benefited from technical education. My grandfather was a tinsmith, grandmother baker, then a cake decorator. Mom was a cosmetologist, then a bookkeeper. Dad was a truck driver, then a truck driving instructor. My wife, commercial artist, daughter, an LPN, RN. And my son, a welder, and this Friday graduates with automation technology. So each one of us, as we've graduated, the family wells up in pride because we know what graduating has meant to our family members. It's meant success, the ability to make your own way, to live the life that you want to live on your own terms. It's really about empowerment. That's what graduation means, not just for you, but for your family and for the community. You and your fellow graduates are the backbone of Wisconsin's economy, and today you join millions of alumni from our technical colleges across the state. Walking down the street, wherever you go, you'll bump into folks young and old that have come through our technical colleges, and they are helping us thrive. They make our communities. As a member of our technical college system board for the state, it's our job to work collaboratively with all of our technical colleges to help secure resources, identify best practices, and assess performance and outcomes. So what do we mean by outcomes? Well, in a nutshell, your success. Fox Valley Technical College, like all of our state's technical colleges, are really knocking it out of the park when it comes to success. Your starting wages are the highest ever for any graduating class. And in the next 5 years, you're going to average a 50% increase in your wages compared to your starting wage. That's incredible. That's the kind of outcomes that Fox Valley Technical College is achieving. And how do they do it? Great faculty, great staff, and a passion for helping you become the best that you can be. So before you go, be sure to stop by and tell them thanks. So I'm an old man. I'm coming up on the end of my career, and I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. Had a good dose of failure, but I've learned some good stuff too, and I'd like to share a few of those things. First and most important, don't be afraid of failure. The fear of failure shortchanges many careers, stops the starting of businesses, and often stands in the way of really incredible things down the road. You have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have the abilities. What you don't yet know is what's really in you. I can tell you from decades of experience, you have far more potential in you than you realize. So stretch your wings. Second, surround yourself with people that you want to be like. If you're constantly with people that are supportive and positive, you will become more like them. If you surround yourself with complainers and folks that are negative, move in that direction. So choose the people around you well, and it'll make your life a lot happier. Third, spend less than you make. This might sound overly simple. It may be hard, but if you consistently set money aside, especially if you start when you're young, one day you'll wake up and you'll be rich. I've heard many people say money isn't everything, but frankly, if I had a choice between having money and not, I'll take the money. Having some dry powder available to take advantage of opportunities when others can't is really important. When I started OEM Fabricators, we started with $10,000. If I had not salted away small bits of money over time, usually less than $100 a month, I would have never had that much money available. Today, that $10,000 has become millions. It's taken over 30 years, but if not for those early years of setting small bits of money aside, OEM would have never happened. Finally, volunteer. You've worked hard, you've earned for yourself an incredible gift, the gift of success. There will always be a need for help in our communities, and there's no better feeling than helping others. You can choose to give time coaching or mentoring, working a few hours in a nonprofit, or help by donating stuff you're not using anymore. There's always a way to make our communities better and more compassionate places to live. Because you are the successful ones, you have the opportunity to make a difference, and it'll make your life more meaningful as well. So on behalf of the Technical College System, State Board, congratulations on your achievement. We're very proud of you, and thank you for making us look good. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark, for sharing your time and insights with us today. I would now like to give special recognition to Fox Valley Technical College's most outstanding graduates. They are members of Phi Theta Kappa, the International Honor Society that recognizes and encourages academic excellence among two-year college students. Would all members of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society please stand and remain standing? Now, would all honor graduates who have maintained a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 or higher also please stand? Congratulations to all of you. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to ask all military veterans in attendance to please stand while we take a moment to recognize your service to our nation. Thank you for your service.
Now will all graduates, candidates for graduation, please rise and remain standing. That's all of you. On behalf of Fox Valley Technical College, I hereby declare that the students from the academic divisions of Business, General Studies, Health, Information Technology, Manufacturing and Agricultural Technologies, Public Safety, Service, and Transportation and Construction Technologies have fulfilled all requirements for graduation. And on behalf of the Fox Valley Technical College faculty, I hereby request that the students are able to receive their appropriate degrees or diplomas. Dr. May.
Upon recommendation of the faculty of Fox Valley Technical College, who are the heart of the college's educational programs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now confer upon you the appropriate degrees and diplomas with all their inherent privileges and responsibilities. Now, under the direction of the ushers, would the Business Division students please come forward to receive a symbol of your accomplishment? Dean Borley, please join me at the diploma table. We ask all students to please be seated until the ushers reach your row, and all guests may remain seated for the entire presentation. Hazel Reck, Marketing. Calicity Her, Paralegal. Ricky Poslut, Paralegal. Dusty Gross, Paralegal. Trisha Thill, Paralegal. Dawn Nelson, Paralegal. Diane Yampa Casede Yamiego, Paralegal. Anne Skidmore, Paralegal. Andrea Chavit, Paralegal. Eric Riley, Supply Chain Management. Rachel Collison, Business Management. Rachel Rosenberg, Business Management. Sue Mayette Maung Maung. Mary Blavet, Human Resources. Syra Villa, Banking and Financial Services. Jessica Zimmer, Banking and Financial Services. Michelle Custedo, Business Management. Samantha Pizzino, Human Resources. Jenny Hawks, Accounting. Karen Sigmund, Accounting and Business Management. Randy Tunstall, Business Management. Henry Augustine, Business Management. Elizabeth Kakatosh, Human Resources. Brady Grossman, Human Resources. Mary Pepin, Office Assistant. Jennifer Reigeld, Office Assistant.
Nicole Jess, Administrative Professional and Meeting and Event Management. Marlo Tarr, Administrative Professional. Barbara Hand, Administrative Professional. Alyssa Frazier, Business Management. Melissa Beyer, Human Resources. Kendra Christensen, Banking and Financial Services. Kristen Gauger, Banking and Financial Services. Michael Eaton, Business Management. Casey Diedrich, Marketing. Rachel Schimmel, Marketing. Amanda McDonald, Business Management. Marley Werner, Business Management. Jamie Ritchie, Business Management. Allison Wheeler, Accounting and Banking and Financial Services. Amanda Couch, Accounting and Business Management. Michael Gawel, Accounting and Banking and Financial Services. Kelly Brisky, Business Management. Pamela Berry, Office Assistant. Mary Eastman, Accounting. Dawn Davis, Human Resources. Robin Milner, Administrative Professional. Dina Walsh, Business Management. Donna Thompson, Office Assistant. Nikki Herr, Accounting. Sonia Meyer, Business Management. Krista Brooks, Accounting. Amy Brewer, Human Resources. Stacy Lutz, Human Resources. Adele Tremble, Human Resources. Matthew Gerald, Marketing. Melinda Foodie, Business Management. Paige Kozik, Business Management and Marketing. Blake Soto, Marketing. Cole Rukoff, Business Management. Mary Wilcox, Supply Chain Management. Vanessa Vianola, Business Management and Marketing. Kim Vandehay, Human Resources. Emily Baumgartner, Human Resources. Anastasia Matosova, Global Studies. Ayub Ben Kader, Global Studies. Ehab Hamdoun, Global Studies. Malak Atitala, Global Studies. Regina Hohenadler, Global Studies. Shaknoza Ahmed Janova, Global Studies. Dmitry Litvin. Magul Wahed, Global Studies. Ameni Thabti, Global Studies. Sachiko Doi, Global Studies. Kwang Ji Her, Global Studies. Maria Padilla, Business Management. Benjamin Schweister, Business Management. Cheng Tao, Business Management and Medical Coding Specialist. Stephen Herbst, Business Management. Dan Yedis, Management Development. Jamie Richmond, Accounting Assistant. Kristen LaRigui, Business Management, Banking and Financial Services. Elena Kawakowski, Marketing. Osvaldo Falcon, Business Management. Tashina Tovar, ITS, Human Service Administration. Go Lia Lau, Business Management. Miranda Hurtado, Business Management. Alicia Hackenjuice, Accounting. Jennifer Schmidtke, Accounting.
Congratulations, business graduates. And now, under the direction of the ushers, would the Health Division students please come forward to receive a symbol of your accomplishments? I'd ask Dean May to please join at the diploma table.
Mitchell Van Den Bogaard, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Chloe Doherty, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Marissa Albers, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Carissa Greeley, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Catherine Bidwell, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Juana Garcia Castro, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Courtney Weber, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Brianna Layer-Lightsky, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Nicole Ninehouse, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Allison Bondi, Occupational Therapy Assistant. Michaela Chestnut, Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse. Erica Pupp, Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse. Holly Marcourt, Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse. Jennifer Tennyson, Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse. Cortland Waters, Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse. Miranda Salceder, Nursing, Associate Degree. Laura Crum, nursing, associate degree. Kayla Smith, nursing, associate degree. Amanda Weiss, nursing, associate degree. Grace Bauer, nursing, associate degree. Megan C., nursing, associate degree. Brandy Blader, nursing, associate degree. Judith Borgwart, nursing, associate degree. Rachel Gentz, nursing, associate degree. Amber Schrader, nursing, associate degree. Yelena Milanovic, nursing, associate degree. Jaira Jendrick, nursing, associate degree. Kayla Flunker, practical nursing. Bailey Bedoin, practical nursing. Keegan Garrigan, practical nursing. Amber Stanzak, practical nursing. Lori Kurth, alcohol and other drug abuse. Casey Butterfield, alcohol and other drug abuse. Tim Hill, alcohol and other drug abuse. Marissa Dessert, dental hygienist. Alzada Roffers, dental hygienist. Brianna Boston, dental hygienist. Tiffany Tesh, dental hygienist. Elizabeth Guevara, dental hygienist. Pardon? Melanie Steffen, dental hygienist. Kaylee Martin, dental hygienist. Ashley Peterson, dental hygienist. Elizabeth Wagner, dental hygienist. Shannon Carnop, dental hygienist. Kaylee Johnson, dental hygienist. Corinna Mino Mickelson, dental hygienist. Anna Van Elzen, dental hygienist. Tiffany Seifert, health information technology. Brittany Wenhart, medical coding specialist. Kelsey Martin, medical coding specialist. Elizabeth Engelke, medical assistant. Brittany Klish, medical assistant. Madeline Jantz, medical assistant. Jade Sampson, medical assistant. Carla Ramirez, medical assistant. Brittany Wahlberg, medical assistant. Dawn Laguna, medical assistant. Megan Serwinski, medical assistant. Brennan Byer, medical assistant. Anna Konke, nursing, associate degree. Justine Arndt, nursing, associate degree. Casey Irons, nursing, associate degree. Ashley Miller, nursing, associate degree. Haley Harding, dental hygienist. Ashley Bazell, dental hygienist. Santana Sanchez, dental assistant. Alexandra Juzak, dental assistant. Michaela Schiller, dental assistant. Haley Sherpke, dental assistant. Mackenzie Roberts, dental assistant. Taylor Plate, dental assistant. Brooke Jansen, dental assistant. Lee Lee, dental assistant. Megan Baumgart, dental assistant. Callista Zickert, dental assistant. Kali Tai, dental assistant. Aaron Blomberg, Health Information Technology. Tamalee Dakota, Health Information Technology. Julia Nelson, Health Information Technology. Ashley Wright, Health Information Technology.
Congratulations, health program graduates. I now request that the students from the Information Technology Division please come forward to receive symbols of your accomplishments. Dean Waterman, your assistants, please.
Christopher Jackson, Network Systems Administration. Emerson Rivera, Network Systems Administration. Dylan Evans, Computer Support Specialist. Stephen Peterson, Network Systems Administration. Bryce Ramey, Computer Support Specialist. Maria Miley, Computer Support Specialist. Stephen Schmidt, Web Development and Design Specialist. Prachi Curry, Software Developer. Sharad Ranpara, Software Developer. Assam Bryce Tauko, Computer Support Specialist. Joshua Myers, Network Systems Administration. Jeremy Canfield, Network Systems Administration. Adam Konjerski, Software Developer. Eric Yang, Web Development and Design Specialist. David Wilson, Network Specialist. Caleb Goss, Network Systems Administration. Jamie Law Corbett, Computer Support Specialist, Web Development and Design Specialist. Travis Willard, Computer Support Specialist. Alexander Gardner, Network Specialist. Shane Yan, Software Developer, Web Development and Design Specialist. Jua Wang, Web Development and Design Specialist. Daniela Izagare, Web Development and Design Specialist. Murillo Zanolato, Software Developer. Dylan Jarling, Software Developer. Benjamin Wastart, Software Developer. Timothy Sonnenberg, Software Developer. Alexander Christofferson, Software Developer. Nathan Thiel, Web Development and Design Specialist.
Congratulations, Information Technology graduates. Next, I'd like to invite Manufacturing and Agricultural Technology students to please come forward to receive symbols of your accomplishments. Associate Dean Andy Reinke, would you please join Dr. May at the diploma table?
William McIntosh, Safety Engineering Technology. Austin Nelson, Machine Tool Technician. Maxwell Calloway, Machine Tool Technician. Thomas Stefik, Electromechanical Technology. Ivan Milanovich, Technical Studies Journey Worker. Eric Kovacevic, Manufacturing Engineering Technology. Jared Sears, Mechanical Design Technology. Zachary Coomer, Mechanical Design Technology. Banya Vu, Electrical Engineering Technology. Anna Dubinsky, Horticulture Technician. Ayla Black, Horticulture Technician. Alicia Buchanan, Horticulture Landscape Specialist. Joseph Flower, Safety Engineering Technology. Sam Metelsky, Wildland Firefighter. Brian Riekoff, Wildland Firefighter. Taylor Klein, Agribusiness Science Technology. Ashley Sievers, Agribusiness Science Technology. Jordan Schultz, Agribusiness Science Technology. Olivia Wagenson, Agribusiness Science Technology. Michaela Tebeast, Agribusiness Science Technology. Bry Smitham, Agribusiness Science Technology. Riley Wisniewski, Agribusiness Science Technology. Danielle Robinson, Agribusiness Management Technician. Trent Markart, Medical Fabrication Welding. Colton Schrepfer, Metal Fabrication Welding. Samuel Wearer, Metal Fabrication Welding. Tammy Norton, Quality Engineering Technology. Kenneth Bensler, Machine Tool Technician. Maxwell Hoyer, Industrial Welding Technology. Rudy Garza, Industrial Welding Technology. Danielle Lee, Industrial Welding Technology. Forrest Yeinman, Industrial Welding Technology. Danielle Brink, Industrial Welding Technology. Christina Kimball, Industrial Welding Technology. James Burrow, Industrial Welding Technology. Kendrick Beal, Industrial Welding Technology. Jacob Shapiro, Metal Fabrication Welding. Agustave Swanke, Metal Fabrication Welding. Brian Wendelborn, Outdoor Power Equipment Technician. Is that DeBryan? Samuel DeBryan, Outdoor Power Equipment Technician. Easy enough. Brandon Bry, Outdoor Power Equipment Technician. Daniel Montoya, ITS, Marine Repair and Technology. Eric Bulwark, Electronic Engineering Technology. Brian Hara, Electronic Engineering Technology. Grant Falks, Laboratory Science Technician. Heather Bile, Laboratory Science Technician. Brian Waters, Quality Engineering Technology. Darianne Novitsky, Agribusiness Science Technology. Rebecca Spatz, Agribusiness Science Technology. Angela Bright, Agribusiness Science Technology. Tyler Hilby, Agribusiness Science Technology. Caleb Haudamaki, Agribusiness Science Technology. Brian Jones, Agribusiness Science Technology. Aaron Reiswick, Agribusiness Science Technology. Kyle Warzinski, Precision Agricultural Technician. Garrett Yankee, Agribusiness, Science, Technology. Brent Hopp, Agribusiness, Science, Technology. Lucy Bly, Agribusiness, Science, Technology. Katie Van Grohl, Agribusiness, Science, Technology. Ronnie Reed, Agribusiness, Science, Technology. Alonzo Jukin, Electrical Engineering Technology. Joshua Barch, Electronic Engineering Technology. Patricia Owen, ITS, Electronics Information Technology for Telecommunications. Anthony Hennick, Electromechanical Technology. Luke Wawronek, Automated Manufacturing Systems Technology. Gavin Hazel, Automated Manufacturing Systems Technology. Tyler Huffman, Automated Manufacturing Systems Technology. Trevor Berlin, Electromechanical Technology. Joshua Stegbauer, Automated Manufacturing Systems Technology and Electromechanical Technology. Abdu Basit Tijani, Electrical Mechanical Technology. Randy Bayer, Automated Manufacturing Systems Technology. Carl Raquel, Automated Manufacturing Systems Technology and Electromechanical Technology. Reed Fosca, Automated Manufacturing Systems Technology. Troy Samida, Metal Fabrication Welding. Benjamin Gunderson, Energy and Environmental Engineering Technology. Cheyenne Comber, Horticulture Landscape Specialist. Ki Vang, Natural Resources Technician. Jacob Smith, Natural Resources Technician. Mashaquit McPherson, Natural Resources Technician. Connor Gerke, Natural Resources Technician. Ty Lindsley, Natural Resources Technician. Colin Stuffel, Natural Resources Technician. Benjamin Gunnering, Natural Resources Technician. Joshua Willis Weber, Natural Resources Technician. Daniel Stanzak, Quality Engineering Technology, Nicole Huffman, Natural Resources Technician. Samantha Jo Hawkins, Natural Resources Technician. Rhonda Abbott, Natural Resources Technician. Carly McGinnis, Natural Resources Technician. Barbara Hellenbrand, Natural Resources Technician. Martin Gesh, Natural Resources Technician. Zachary Ritchie, Laboratory Science Technician. Crystal Vandenberg, Technical Studies Journey Worker. Ryan Teet, Industrial Engineering Technology. Paul Rink, Electromechanical Technology.
Congratulations, Manufacturing and Agricultural Technologies graduates. Now request that the public safety students please come forward to receive symbols of your accomplishments. Dean Suyak, if you would please assist with the diplomas.
Allie Farron, Criminal Justice Studies. Stephanie Clemmy, Criminal Justice Studies. Jordan Fickle, Criminal Justice Studies. John Vanden Elsen, Criminal Justice Studies. Justin Nigber, Criminal Justice Studies. Michaela Doset, Criminal Justice Studies. Wynn Messman, Forensic Science. Rebecca McLean, Forensic Science. Brendan Updike, Criminal Justice Studies. Eduardo Patino Vera, Criminal Justice Studies. Matthew McHugh, Criminal Justice Studies. Eric Rail, Criminal Justice Studies. Alex Jerschley, Criminal Justice Studies. Michael Moore, Criminal Justice Studies. Chad Michaels, Criminal Justice Studies. Noah Krillkamp, Fire Protection Technician. Nicholas Schammer, Fire Protection Technician. Isaac Patton, Fire Protection Technician. Shane Wadier, Fire Protection Technician. Joseph Gamza, Fire Protection Technician. Marquise Turner, Criminal Justice Studies. Gregory Buss, Criminal Justice Studies. Nicole Henry, Criminal Justice Studies. Nicholas Miller, Criminal Justice Studies. Haley Kasari, Criminal Justice Studies. Nicole Carlson, Criminal Justice Studies. Taylor Peters, Criminal Justice Studies. Michael Hardy, Criminal Justice Studies. Devin Reinke, Criminal Justice Studies. Joshua Kislewski, Criminal Justice Studies. Nathan Hennig, Criminal Justice Studies. April Schneider, Criminal Justice Studies. Aaron Wassinger, Criminal Justice Studies. Skylar Corbett, Criminal Justice Studies. Cam Spot, Criminal Justice Studies. Dennis Volpe, Criminal Justice Studies. Brianne Romero, Forensic Science. Rachel Coulomb, Paramedic Technician. Jennifer Heineman, EMT, Paramedic. Tyler Roosh, Fire Protection Technician, EMT Paramedic. Brett Nyman, Fire Protection Technician. Jason Rupnow, Fire Protection Technician. Anthony Gonzalez, Fire Protection Technician. Jacob Pinchakowski, Fire Protection Technician.
Congratulations, public safety graduates. Now invite our service division students to please come forward and receive symbols of your accomplishments. Dean Olson, your assistants at the diploma table.
Danielle Mavis, Therapeutic Massage. Vicki Abel, Therapeutic Massage. Morgan Radke, Therapeutic Massage. Pardon? Bethany Katowski, Therapeutic Massage. Caitlin Vandenblumer, Early Childhood Education. Jody Hallett, Early Childhood Education. Haley Peterson, Early Childhood Education. Rachel Knowlton, Early Childhood Education. Jessica Newman, Early Childhood Education. Yvonne Cohen, Early Childhood Education. Elise Schmitting, Early Childhood Education. Allison Pullman, Early Childhood Education. Mary Perkett, Early Childhood Education. Wendy Mendez, Early Childhood Education. Josephine Poli, Early Childhood Education. Bailey Korth, Kitchen Steward. William Carroll, Kitchen Steward. Sean Coates, Kitchen Steward. Kelly Green, Kitchen Steward. Michael Johnston, Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. Cora Brown, Culinary Arts. Brittany Haymauer, Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. Thank you. Marie Conant, Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. Olivia Leon, Food Service Production. Maria Janice, Culinary Arts. Cassandra Vandeloo, Baking and Pastry Production. Analia Soto, Culinary Arts. Madeline Martins, Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. Alicia Werhand, Culinary Arts. Amber Lyons, Early Childhood Education. Olivia Smith, Early Childhood Education. Marissa Heffler, Early Childhood Education. Christine Thill, Early Childhood Education. Nicole Vandenbogard, Early Childhood Education. Sydney Bergeron, Early Childhood Education. Kennedy Clark, Early Childhood Education. Shayna Pertilli, Early Childhood Education. Erica Pinchakowski, Early Childhood Education. Emma Haythorne, Early Childhood Education. Allison Lenoble, Early Childhood Education. Christina Rasmussen, Early Childhood Education. Andrea Johnson, Early Childhood Education. Pamela Vang, Early Childhood Education. Amanda Lohr, Early Childhood Education. Janie Towell, Early Childhood Education. Alicia Tim, Interior Design. Shari Oldenburg, Interior Design. Paige Clearman, Interior Design. Allison Niels, Interior Design. Brandon Sorge, Interior Design. Madison Van Straten, Interior Design. Nicole Thompson, Interior Design. Valerie Adamski, Medical Office Assistant. Kimberly Hirschberger, Medical Administrative Professional. Gage Devicek, Culinary Arts. Katie Rabb, Baking and Pastry Production. Violet Peterson, Baking and Pastry Production. Megan Young, Culinary Arts. Killian O'Donnell, Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. Brianna Richter, Culinary Arts. Gretchen Murphy, Hospitality Management. Alicia Van Skyver, Early Childhood Education. Julie Netzel, Early Childhood Education. Sarah Kozlowski, Early Childhood Education. Kaylin Cook, Early Childhood Assistant Teacher. Lucy Zhang, Medical Administrative Professional. Bailey Barvik, Medical Administrative Professional. Rochelle Pacheco, Medical Administrative Professional. Jennifer Kettner, Medical Administrative Professional. Yi Zhang, Accounting. Hannah Christofferson, Interior Design and Interior Design Kitchen and Bath. Yasna Cowrin, Interior Design Kitchen and Bath. Joan Watson, Interior Design and Interior Design Kitchen and Bath.
Congratulations, Service Division graduates. Now, finally, I'd like to invite the Transportation and Construction Technology students to please come forward and receive symbols of your accomplishments. Dean Heath, would you please assist at the diploma table?
Cheyenne Steffes, Diesel Equipment Technology. Neil Cornelius Sr., Diesel Equipment Technology. Jonathan Lynn, Automotive Technician Imports. Corbin Young, Automotive Technology Imports. Cody Hansen, Automotive Technology Imports. Ryan Calloway, Automotive Technician. Kevin Wilkins, Automotive Technology. Joseph Van Grohl, Construction Management Technology. Brittany Van Asten, Construction Management Technology. Jody Davis, Construction Management Technology. Michael Miller, Construction Management Technology. Jonathan Charles, Vehicle Refinishing and Repair Technology. Joseph Workman, Vehicle Refinishing and Repair Technology. Christopher Myers, Vehicle Refinishing and Repair Technology. James Stock, Vehicle Refinishing and Repair Technology. Owen Schmelzer, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics. Derek Peterson, Aircraft Electronics. Marcos Teresa, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics. Joseph Hansen, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics. Alexander Moran, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics and Aircraft Electronics. Abraham Klein, Wood Manufacturing Technology. Jacob Wondolowski, Diesel Power Generation and Marine Service Technician. Austin Tulso, Diesel Equipment Mechanic. Hunter Tilkey, Automotive Technology. Bo Barone, Automotive Technician. Eric Camphouse, Automotive Technician. Hannah Lobianco, Automotive Technician. Anthony Carivu, Diesel Equipment Technology. Parker Gaulick, Diesel Equipment Mechanic. Jacob Falk, Auto Collision Repair and Refinishing Technician. Isaac Hansen, Auto Collision Repair and Refinishing Technician. Brandon Whitford, Aeronautics Pilot Training. Thomas Saraki, Aeronautics Pilot Training. Seth DeFore Remy, Aeronautics Pilot Training. Samuel Smith, Aeronautics Pilot Training. Nathan Borley, Aeronautics Pilot Training. Jericho Learman, Automotive Technology, GM, ASEP. Riley Sorrell, Automotive Technology, GM at ASEP. Isaac Steffens, Automotive Technology, GM, ASEP. Scott Wolf, Automotive Technology, GM, ASEP. Corey Connerton, Automotive Technology, GM, ASEP. Kenya Hundley, Auto Collision Repair and Refinishing Technician. Harry Bernstein, Automotive Technology. Rebecca Reiling, Diesel Equipment Mechanic. Brian Johnston, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics. Shannon Berry, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics. Donovan Hunt, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics. Richard Stansberry, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics, Avionics. Garrett Cullen, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics. Juan Pedro Antonio Ruiz, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics. Samuel Sanderlin, Airframe and Power Plant Mechanics. Andrew M. Miller, Aircraft Electronics. Chad Owen, Aircraft Electronics. Dominic Losser, Aircraft Electronics.
Congratulations, Transportation and Construction Technologies graduates. I'd now like to ask that all of our graduates please rise and move your tassels from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2018. You may be seated.
Let me be the first to welcome our many graduates as alumni of Fox Valley Technical College. Please remember that our campus doors throughout the region are always open to you, and we look forward to serving as your lifelong learning partner on your journey to continued success. There is another group of people who have joined us today to share the joy of this occasion. They've provided counsel, friendship, support, and encouragement during your years of study. And your graduation today reflects their love and pride, which was very, very evident in today's program. Would the parents of our graduates please stand, along with grandparents, spouses, children, brothers and sisters, relatives and friends. I ask our faculty and staff to stand as well. Graduates, please extend a huge round of applause in appreciation of all your great supporters on this special day.
On behalf of the faculty at Fox Valley Technical College, congratulations, graduates. As a courtesy, we ask the audience members to remain in their seats until the entire recessional is complete. You will have an opportunity to meet your graduates afterwards. We invite everyone to join us for a reception celebration after the recessional, which will be held in the lower gym. Please follow the signs in the lobby. Graduates and guests may return here to the stage to take photos by the banner. I hereby declare this 2018 Fox Valley Technical College commencement adjourned, and kindly ask the honored speakers, administrators, and the Board of Trustees to follow me.